Hey guys, it's Samia here from Signal by Sony, a show all about Sony's games, gadgets, and entertainment. Now, some of you might be in the market for a more mobile laptop, something like a 13-inch. Now, we know it's tough for you to wrap your head around all the options out there, especially if you're not really a hardcore Mac or PC user.
Right, so we want to help you make a good buying decision. So what we have here right now are two good laptops to compare. We've got the Sony VAIO S Series and the latest MacBook Pro. These are both the baseline models. Now, both are great brands, but we're going to get into some of the differences. First, a couple similarities, actually. In both computers, the processing power is the same. Okay, so both have a 2.3 gigahertz Intel Core i5 processor and 4 gigs of RAM. They're both about the same thickness, at a little under an inch thick. So how does the VAIO S differ from the MacBook Pro? Well, the VAIO is over half a pound lighter, so this is 3.8 pounds, and the MacBook Pro is 4.4 pounds, which doesn't sound like a huge difference until you are carrying it around all day.
Not fun.
Not fun. You get more storage with the standard VAIO S. The baseline model comes with 500 gigs, while the baseline MacBook Pro only comes with 320 gigs.
Which is really important.
It's really important.
You never think about it when you're buying it, but once you get your computer, literally like a month or two later, crap, I filled it up.
Yeah, pictures, music, movies, everything just takes up space, you know?
Now, here's the thing. Neither computer actually gets kudos for a high-resolution screen. However, the VAIO is slightly higher at 1366 by 768 versus the MacBook Pro at 1280 by 800. So it's slightly better when you're watching movies to use a VAIO.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And you've got, you know, the more widescreen aspect ratio.
It's kind of like being in a movie theater, sort of.
It's as close to being in a movie theater as you can be with a 13-inch screen.
Now, the VAIO S is actually easier on your wallet as well. The MacBook Pro starts at around $1,200, while the VAIO is under $1,000. It's basically more than $200 less. Now, both the computers have similar battery life, but here's the thing. With the VAIO, you can actually buy an extended sheet battery for about $150. And when you use that, you're actually doubling the VAIO battery life with the sheet battery and making it up to about 15 hours.
Which is awesome, like if you're on a trip or if you just are on the go all the time and you don't know if you're going to be able to get to an outlet. 15 hours is awesome.
It's a lot of hours. And now here's the thing. When you buy the sheet battery and the VAIO S, it's still cheaper than buying the baseline MacBook Pro. Now, we should be upfront that it does add a little more weight to your machine. With the sheet battery attached, you're looking at something that's a little more than 5 pounds.
All right, other differences with the Mac. You know, some might prefer the OS and interface. Obviously, Mac OS is only on Macs, Windows is only on PCs. Others may prefer the design touches, like the magnetic AC adapter. And there's been some buzz over the MacBook Pro's new high-speed Thunderbolt connection for it, right? Which is a great technology, but you're going to find that there aren't a lot of Thunderbolt peripherals out there just yet. The VAIO S includes USB 3.0, which the Mac doesn't, and that's over double the transfer rate of USB 2.0. Finally, Mac computers tend to have a reputation for being the go-to computer for multimedia stuff, right? But what you might not be aware of is that both the MacBook Pro and the VAIO S have the exact same integrated graphics card. So Sony took it a step further by building what's called hybrid graphics. So this means in addition to the integrated graphics card in the computer, the VAIO S lets you switch to a separate dedicated graphics card with a processor specifically designed to handle high-end tasks like 3D gaming. We wanted to put Sony's graphics system to the test, so to do that, we actually gave the VAIO S to a professional graphic designer who's also a die-hard Mac user to see how well it performed in doing her day-to-day tasks.
Hey, I'm Stephanie Chu, and I am Revision 3's creative director, and I've been here at Revision 3 for about 3.5 years now. Every day I work on our website, our show releases, and everything visual that you see on revision3.com. I usually use a beast of a MacBook Pro. It's 17 inches big, and it gets the job done. First thing I do in the mornings, come in, launch up Photoshop. I also use Illustrator on a daily basis. My initial impression when I received this Sony VAIO S Series computer was that it is slick looking. A lot of times on my MacBook, I get a little lag, especially when I'm running multiple programs at one time. And I found that the VAIO was actually pretty snappy and there wasn't too much lag in scaling graphics or rendering graphics, so that's pretty good.
Being a big gamer, I got to play around with the VAIO S Series myself, and it was a really good experience for me. The VAIO S isn't really positioned as a gaming laptop, but most smaller laptops like this don't have a dedicated graphics card. And having a dedicated graphics card is super important in a gaming rig. The other thing you want to be aware of if you want to play games on your computer is that there are way more games available for the PC than the Mac platform. Just the truth. I'm just putting it out there.
Real talk right there.
Real talk, man. So there you have it, a spec-to-spec comparison of the two laptops plus a couple of informed opinions. Hopefully we helped you understand the differences so you can figure out which one is right for you. And if you want to know more about the VAIO S, you can get more details on the Sony website. To watch more Signal, just go to sony.com/signal or youtube.com/signal where you can leave a comment. For now, this is Anthony Insomnia signing off.